Hello and welcome to the video lecture on printf and scanf statement in C programming. Now let us first understand what is the printf and scanf in C. So these two are the fundamental standard input output functions in C programming, and both these functions they are defined in the stdio.h header file. So that is the reason why we always declare this as a first line of our program, that is hash include stdio.h. Now let us understand both of these functions one by one. Let us see first the printf function, which is used to display the formatted output on the screen. The syntax which is used for printf is printf followed by control string and variable list. Now in the control string, it contains some format specifier depending upon the data type. So if it is an integer, then we have to use a %d. If it is a float, then %f. For character, %c. For string, it is %s. And if it is a double, %lf. Now we'll see how this printf statement can be used to display the different type of data types. So now for that reason, we'll go to the dev cpp. Here I have opened this dev cpp. Now here we'll first go to the file and we'll open a new source file. Now here I will start my program. Now let's first display or print the simple string on the display device. So the first line is hash include stdio.h, then integer main, just open the curly braces, and here we are going to write printf, and I am going to display a simple message, let's say C programming. Okay, so this string I am going to display. This is followed by a semicolon, and finally we have to write return 0 because we have declared main as an integer. So this is the first way by which we can use a printf. Now let us compile and run this. Okay, so first we will save this. I will just give the name as a demo file, so demo.cpp and see. Yes, okay. So you can see here easily, this is the output, that is C programming. So whenever you want to print any message or display any message on the console, you have to write that message in a double quotes. Now let us understand that if we want to display an integer value by using an printf statement, then how we can use it. Now I will modify this same program here. So I will just remove these two lines. Now here I need to declare the integer. So let's say integer a, and I will assign some value to this integer. Let's say 10, and now I want to print this value of a using printf. So let's write printf. Now here I will give a message value of a is equal to. Now here I need a value, and the format specifier used here is a %d because it is an integer. So we have to write %d, and after that we need a value of a, so you have to write here a. So just give a semicolon and finally give a return 0 statement. Now we'll check the output. What we expect is the value of a is 10. That is the output that we expect. Again I will compile and run this program. Yes, now you can see here value of a is equal to 10. That is what is the expected output is. Now let's understand, if we want to display a float or a double value, then how we can use a printf statement. So again, for that reason I will declare one float number. So let's say float num1. I will assign the value, as it is a floating point, I have to give it in a fraction, so 12.5. and let's say the another number, that is a double. Let's say num2 is equal to say 34.2, whatever you want, you can give. And now I will write printf statements for both. So printf, let's say number 1 is equal to. Now for float, the format specifier used is a percentage f, so you have to write percentage f, and we are interested in a value of num1, so you have to write here num1. This is the first printf, and I will write the second printf statement for double. So here the number 2 is equal to, now the format specifier used here is lf, so let's write percentage lf, and the variable used here is a num2, so you have to write it and just give a semicolon, and finally you have to write return 0. Okay, so this is what is a program. So again I will execute, compile and run, and let's check the output. So here you can see the number 1 is 12.5 and 2 is 31, but here you can see the output, it is showing on the same line. So let us modify this. So if you want to check the output on the another line, then here you have to give one /n, which is a new line character, so that you can check the output on the next line. So let's check it. Now see here, num1 is 12.500, num2 is 34. So this is how you can display the float or the double value. Now let us see how to display the character using the printf. So for that, again I will modify the same program. Now here I will declare one character. So let's say character ch is equal to, in single quote I will give say a. So this character I want to display, and I will write a printf statement for the same. So printf character is, here the format specifier is percentage c, and here a double quote is required. We will complete this quote here, and comma, what you want to check is character ch. Okay, so just complete the bracket and put a semicolon. Again execute, compile and run. So here you can see character is a. Okay, so this is how actually we can use a printf statement to display different types of data. Now let us understand about these scanf statement. So scanf statement is used to read the formatted input from the standard input device, that is typically a keyboard. Now in the above all program, if you have monitored, actually I have given the value to the variables during the initialization process. But if I want to take the input from the user, then in that case I have to go for the scanf function. So let us now understand how to use the scanf function to accept the input from the user for various type of data types. Now the syntax which is used for scanf is again a control string and the variable list. Now here every variable should be preceded by an ampersand sign, that is compulsory, and the control string which is used, or the format specifiers which are used, they are same as a printf, that is %d for integer, f for float, character for c, and string for s. So now let us understand with the help of some example how to use the scanf statement for different data types. So first let us understand how to accept an integer input. So again I will just remove this part. Now I will declare one variable, let's say integer a, but here remember I am not assigning any value here. Now I will give a simple message, printf enter the number, because I am going to take the number from the user in this case. Okay, and then I am going to use a scanf. So scanf statement. Now here the format specifier used is %d because I am accepting the integer number, comma. and ampersand a, because I want to take the value of a from the user, and whatever value entered by the user I want to display it again. So I will again write a printf the number entered is, say, percentage d comma e. So whatever number entered by the user, that we can check using this statement and just give a return 0. So this is how we can take the integer input from the user and we can display it. Now let's check it again. I will execute, compile and run the program. Now here it is asking for the number, so let's enter the number 10. So enter the number 10 and here is the output. Number entered is 10. Now let's understand how to accept the float and the double values using the scanf. So first we need to declare. So again I will just remove this part. Now first let's say float num1. I am not assigning any value here because I am accepting it from the user. Double, say num2. Okay. Now I will write the printf for the printing the message. Say enter the num1. Okay. And now I will take the first number from the user. So scanf percentage f, because here we are accepting a float number, and comma ampersand num1. So first number should be accepted here. Now I will go for the second number, that is a printf. Again I will give the message enter the another number, and again for accepting that I have to write one more scanf. So scanf double quote percentage lf, because it is for a double number, comma ampersand num2. Okay, so this is how we can accept. And now whatever numbers we have taken, that we can check again using the printf. So I will write entered number, or instead of that what simply we can write is, first is say num1, right? So num1 is equal to percentage f, comma the variable is num1, so we can see that number, and again printf double quotes num2 is equal to percentage lf, comma num2. Okay, so this is what is the program, and finally you write, okay, return 0 is already there, so no need to write it again. Okay, so let us now check it. So compile and run. So it is asking for the first number, so let's say 13.7. Enter the another number, asking for another number, say 23.5. And here you can check num1 is 13. Again you can see both the numbers, they have displayed on the single line, so we can display them on the separate lines. So let's see how we can do that. So let's add here /n, again execute, compile and run. So enter the number 1, say 12.5, enter number 2, say 23.5, and here is the output, num1 and num2. So this is how we can use a scanf statement for float and double. And now lastly we'll see how to take a character from the user. So again I will modify the same program here. We'll delete this part. Now here again you have to declare char ch. Now first we'll give a simple message printf, enter the character. Now we'll accept the character using scanf. So scanf double quotes, format specifier is percentage C, comma, ampersand ch. Okay, I will just remove this and put a semicolon and finally print that value. So printf again double quotes, entered character is equal to percentage C, comma ch. Okay, so this is the thing and finally return 0. Again we'll execute, compile and run the program. So now it is saying enter the character. Let's enter the character E, and here you can check the output. Entered character is E. So this is how basically you can use the simple printf and scanf statements in C programming. So guys, if you like my video, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share the video with your friends, and also comment on the same because your comments are valuable. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.